Hello and welcome to Oracle Storytelling. Hi, I'm Sarah of Sarah Wing Intuitive Arts. Hi, if this is your first time, welcome to the video. I hope you stick around for the ride. I am an intuitive artist, and you can find my art, some of it on this channel, but mainly on my website at sarahwingintuitivearts.com, also of the same name on Facebook and Instagram. And of course, I do videos here, intuitive storytelling videos, where today I grabbed a couple decks. So I grabbed there it is, the Fairy Tale Oracle by Lucy Cavendish, and the Star Temple Oracle by, Susie Cherub. And then Cunningham's Encyclopedia of Magical Herbs to do a little divination. So. Another little... Okay, that bell really helped. Maybe you are also a human being watching this, and you are just being swept up in this constant flowing river of energy that we've got going. As I say that, it's been downpouring today all day. So on top of that, I'm having a day where I'm kind of having some emotional flooding. And it's very interesting. Also, I'm kind of feel like I forced myself to do a video because I got my hair cut, and my hair is never going to look like this. Even if you can't really see how nicely it's cut and styled by my hairdresser, it's never going to look this cute after I sleep on it and wash it. So I thought, well, I have to do a video today. Even though, like I said, I'm getting a lot of like emotional flooding today, and there's like literal flooding going on. Yeah. So one more little bell. Yeah, those last ones are like, please help center us right now. Let's see. Yeah, so maybe like me too, you've been having days where you feel like you have to kind of push through. And today feels like one of those days for me, which is interesting just because this year has been moving so fast. Lunar New Year, this is the year of the fire horse, and it really has been this extremely fast-moving, fast-paced year. So even when things are tough and hard to move through, I've felt like this little jolt of that kind of like fast-paced energy that just keeps pushing me ahead. I feel like we're all just kind of like getting these little nudges as we pace ahead. At least I'm feeling that. It feels like even the biggest things I've been struggling with forever are just, I have less time to even kind of weigh in on them. Paradoxically, I think I used that correctly, I am getting super inundated with so much thought, so many things on my mind. And I usually have a lot on my mind, and I usually am inundated with a lot of thought. But this feels like really turned up the fire on that. And today it's just, like I said, this downpour of emotions. And in terms of being inundated with thought and having a downpour of emotions, when it's kind of mixing in with this this fast-moving energy, I'm kind of feeling like I need to take a moment to catch up. which is interesting. It feels like it's this, there's kind of the blessing and the curse to this energy. The blessing being, you know, big things come up, but I feel like whether it's a good thing or a bad thing that pops up, the resolve comes quick, and it's kind of on to the next thing, right? If it's a blessing and it's unfolding quickly, then it'll get exposed that much quicker and on to the next thing. If it's something that's like, oh fuck this, you still like people and resources and answers, and kind of just the path you're going to resolve it with is popping up really quickly, which is good. But for someone who has a very busy mind, and is feeling super inundated with thought right now in this super fast pace, I usually do well to take a moment or take the time I need to integrate, but the pace is so quick. It's kind of nuts. And to feel these emotions, again, like, okay, feel emotions, you integrate, deal with them. The pace is so quick, and it's literally flooding outside, but it's also like these little emotion spikes. So just, I thought I'd share that in case maybe you can relate there. If not, just to the fact that, we're in this new year that is really speeding ahead. Yeah, it's definitely a different energy. Sorry, it's just hearing fire engines and other things outside right now, getting louder and louder. Fire horse. I was actually driving earlier, and even though it was pouring rain, at one point when I was driving, I was turning, and as soon as I was approaching the lane to do a turn in, generator, like you hear it and you see this like huge blue light just kind of so even in the downpour there's fire. And if you follow astrology at all, as I'm talking, you might be thinking about, this Mars energy, this really aggressive Mars energy going on with Uranus, and we just had something go on. I don't know if it was a square conjunction, something, and Uranus, maybe it was, Mars and Uranus, and just very spastic electrical energy of Uranus. And I would strongly encourage you, if you do look at astrology, if you follow astrology, if you have an astrologer, if you're somebody that kind of wants to get a little more peace of mind around, I'm experiencing this. Is this going to be forever? No, it's not going to be forever. I encourage you to, look up your chart, take a look. If you have astrologer you like, book a reading. This year is going to go so quickly. And this is just reminding me to look at my chart and see my where I have conjunctions and squares, and maybe some leeway this year. Anyway, let's get started with some cards. Like I said, my mind is very inundated, and it's just an interesting year. I typically have something behind me over here. I usually put something up. But I was kind of forcing myself to just interact and draw some information and be delightful, make a little video here. And I just feel like putting something up, so I'm sorry, it's kind of boring. I did have a thought that I should probably go ahead and put up some art, and then every time I do a video, put up different art of mine. Can't believe I didn't think of that until now. That's interesting. So watch out for that in the next video. Interesting. So I was just kind of like unconsciously shuffling this deck, and we're just going to get going. So the first card that came out here is number 13, Thumbelina Expectations. Oh, everything I did today is looking so nice. Okay. All right. So it's interesting because and maybe I'll look this up in the book too, but what I first notice, okay, so we have number 13, a great goddess number, right? And maybe, you know, this, you might have something upcoming on this 13th of this month. So here's this beautiful child here, and she has like this little flock behind her. So I feel like, okay, here's this flock, and she's not exactly like the rest of the flock, right? Because she's a human and these are birds. But I'm just looking at this little flock here. And I think it's interesting because you see she has her wings. So she has her flock around her, she has her wings, but her eyes are looking upward. So I just the thought, okay, if this resonates with anyone, this is for you. Pie in the sky. I just, that term pie in the sky, I don't know the last time I ever heard that, but this pie in the sky. So the word is expectations. And the first thing comes to mind with that is two things. Or three. One, you know, this could be a card for daydreamers. I'm a big daydreamer, maybe you are too. And maybe you live a lot of your life like daydreaming, right? But the pie in the sky expectations, you know, maybe you are a big dreamer and maybe you have things that you'd like to do. We're in a Mercury retrograde, and one of the things about a Mercury retrograde is the as in redo, return to finish, to accomplish. So maybe you have some pie in the sky expectations, some ideas, you know, that are just feel big to you, either because they are bigger in production, in how it needs to be accomplished, or maybe they're just bigger because they've been put off for so long, right? It's been prolonged, and so things just feel larger. So this is just a reminder, if you have something jumps to mind or things that jump to mind, maybe take a look. And first and foremost, see how you're feeling about that. Because also sometimes we feel this need to just finish things instead of just dropping them. This is the year of the fire horse. Some things are just going to get burned. They're going to get burned up, left in the dust, because we can finally say, yeah, you know, we don't have to carry them on our back anymore. These are really heavy, and it'd be way more convenient if we just unloaded this. So check in with that if you're looking at something where you're like, oh, I wanted to do this. Make sure the you now still has interest in doing what the you back then, when that idea came to be, wants to follow through on. The other thing for like pie in the sky expectations, I mean, yeah, like check your expectations a little bit. In terms of like projections or like delusions, check your radar. If you've got a lot of inundated thoughts, or like I said, like if you're just feeling kind of a lot of overwhelm, be considerate with yourself before you move forward with something new or someone new. Or if someone is offering you like a pie in the sky expectation, offering you something that just sounds like, oh my God, you know, it's like, I'm going to sit on a cloud and eat ice cream and get paid for that. Like, maybe, you know, just be mindful of the messages that you're hearing, and how, like, the faith that you throw into maybe some things you're hearing from people, or promises, like I said, really elaborate big promises. And if you're someone that's very supportive, you're a people pleaser, you're a cheerleader, also be aware of someone having a huge idea and you're like cheerleading it, that you don't become the cheerleader, the manufacturer, the backer. Like, you know, it's great to support people, but make sure that you don't just take over their entire, you know, if they have this great idea, make sure that, you know, they're not really asking you to do the work for them, if that makes sense. It is really weird to do a video without something behind me. Oh, and I've also, since Lunar New Year, I have pulled out my Moldavite, just in case any stone people want to know what I'm wearing. Some Moldavite here. Pulled out my little snake ring, like my little Hecate ring. Got some Dalmatian jasper and some opalite. Dalmatian jasper, for me, when I look at it, and especially, it's like black. It looks like kind of poppy seed black specks in like a muted suede brown, like cashmere coffee brown. This is a stone that I find relaxing. I feel like it's also like if I'm upset, or someone's upset me and I don't want to contribute, I don't want to exacerbate anything more, this is a good bracelet for me. It is like a happy stone, uplifting stone. And me personally, it makes me think of just wet sand on the beach. So when the sand gets wet and like you put your feet in, and there's those little rough little pieces that you can feel and see. It just reminds me of wet sand on the beach, and that just makes me happy to think of. Okay, so we had kind of like revisiting some dreams, going over and making sure, if you're cheerleading for someone, you're not taking on their dreams, that you're sure of what you want to contribute to and follow through on, and they're sure what they want to contribute and follow through on, which can be tough. And especially in this quick-paced year, it's important to be considerate and kind and take those moments to check in, because if you get if you don't stop and think about what you want to take on or revisit, and it kind of takes on a life of its own really quickly, it can be harder when you're caught up in the middle of something to reevaluate. It's not a problem for everybody, but I'd say even the people that are really great at it, the year's moving so fast. So if you have an opportunity before you jump into something you want to look back on, it's one of those things, like, sleep on it, right? You know what I mean? Sometimes we can be really sure and amped up of something, and sometimes we just need to sleep on it. Or sometimes we can be anxious and really worried, and sometimes the best thing to do is sleep on it, which I know can sound crazy. It's like, how can I sleep if sleep aids? I don't know. But sometimes it is better in the morning, and we have a little clarity. Not necessarily because we're like a morning person and that's our best time for whatever, but just because our mind, our body, everything has had time to integrate, deliberate, and also just clear out whatever needs to clear out during our sleep cycle. Okay. I just heard the word practical. So I'm going to do a little definition with this book. What is something practical we can do right now to support us, let's say just during this month, or from the day you're seeing this through the next 30 days, something practical we can do to support ourselves. Ooh, okay, so I was looking at this when so interesting. I think that's also juniper. Yeah, so this little image here, this little image at the top, which I believe is juniper. So folk names: Enebro, Germaner, Watchholder, Geneva, Ginberry, Ginipro, Gin Plant. Lots of gin. Okay, so something we can do to calm ourselves. For some of us might be have a shot of gin, calm our nerves. Okay. The gender for this plant, this Jupiter. Did I say Jupiter? Juniper. Well, it is very close to the word Jupiter. So this is just another opportunity to kind of take a look, see where Jupiter, which is a planet of expansion, of luck, all these great things, it's still traveling through Cancer, okay, in terms of the zodiac. And if you're, if you're interested to check out where Jupiter is right now on your chart, you can go ahead and look that up. So Jupiter is going to be in one of your 12 houses, and the different houses are representing different aspects of your life, whether it's like your home life or your social life or your spiritual life or your larger pursuits. And it just might be kind of a fun thing, again, if you're generally curious or if you're into looking at astrology, just to see, okay, where is Jupiter? Where is Jupiter either transiting, if you know astrology, or just in your natal chart? Where's Jupiter in your natal chart? What number? The houses are numbered, and which number is it in? Then look at that house number and see, oh, what does that mean? What is this house about? Is it about my siblings? Is it about my ambitions? Is it about my mother? Is it about what it's about? So the Juniper, so these are just, so the gender for this is masculine, the planet is sun, and the element is fire. Oh, that's why we got this, right? Because it's the year of the fire horse. Let's just keep saying that. The planet is the sun and the element is fire for this plant, this Juniper plant. Of course it is, right? So what are some powers of this plant, this magical herb? Well, protection. I love that. I love that for the next 30 days, right? This idea of focusing on protection, anti-theft, love, exorcism, and health. Oh, great. Which is interesting. So it kind of overall makes me think of, the body overall. So the body health overall. Energetically, in terms of what you're eating, in terms of water intake or detox, because the powers reference to this herb of the Juniper is protection, anti-theft, love, exorcism, health. So protecting your body, anti-theft. So anti-theft, like, even in the kindest way, like, don't let people put you down. Stand up for yourself. Don't let people steal your sunshine. Walk away and say, fuck you, either literally or walking away from people who try to steal your sunshine. It's bullshit. It's not theirs. They can't take it. The most they can do is make you temporarily forget. But this is just a reminder. So if anybody around you, when you're around them, they come up to you, whatever it is, you try to avoid them or you feel like you can't avoid them, and you're just like, damn, like, I wish this person would leave me alone, or, oh, I guess they're nice, everybody likes them, but I feel like crap. I always feel weird after they're around. Tell that person to fuck off or walk away from that person. Don't let them take your sunshine. And again, they can't, but there are just some people, they think if they can make you forget, make you feel not good about yourself, even for a little bit, they feel like they've taken something from you. They can never take it. And that's usually why people who are bullies, who are abusive, continue, right? Because every time they try to take something from you, they can't, because it's yours. Your innate being, who you are. That's why people try. If you're around someone who is abusing you, And they could take what you have. They could take the thing they covet in you that is absent in themselves. If they could take it, they take it on the first try and bye-bye, peace out. They have to keep repeating it. They can't take it. They can't take it. But they can make you forget for a little bit or a long time. So, next 30 days, focus on no, putting space there, walking away, telling somebody to fuck off if you need to. So, protection, anti-theft, love, right? So, again, with the health of your body, love your body. We've all got stuff going on all the time in our bodies that we're uncomfortable with. Well, what are some simple things we could do for areas of our body that we're uncomfortable with, that are feeling stress and pain? You know, I mean, we can literally give, like, part of your arm hurts. I mean, we can massage our arm. We can put a little lotion on it, put a little heat on it, put a little ice on something, stretch out our bodies, take, a nice hot bath, put like nice healing oils or salves, or do like some kind of breathing where wherever the stress we're holding in our body. You know how like different times we hold stress in different parts of our bodies. So like sometimes it's like, oh, my leg, every time you get stressed out, your leg hurts. Every time you get stressed out, you know how that is, right? Even sending breath, like being in a fully relaxed, comfortable position and just visualizing sending breath, blowing breath through into these parts of our bodies. So loving on our body. Exorcism, again, I'm going to take a detox on our body. And it could be, anything. We put so much on our body, in our bodies. We consume through our skin in so many different ways. If something's been coming up lately where you're like, oh, I gotta stop consuming this in some way, or even like, oh, I've been thinking about switching to maybe like a different type of pan or a different type of what I drink water out of, or I'm not gonna do this, or this could be an opportunity the next 30 days. Kind of, again, hold yourself to these ideas about your body and see what happens, see what changes, see what something spontaneously nice occurs that you give to yourself, a nice little gift. And the last one is the health of your body. So overall health of your body. So again, the word I heard before I channeled this was practical. And we have the planet for the juniper herb is sun, the element is fire. So practical, we're talking about practical things for this fire horse energy. So let's see. Juniper, magical uses used throughout Europe as a protective herb. Juniper also guards against theft, which we were talking about. It was probably one of the earliest incenses used by Mediterranean witches. Juniper hung at the door protects against evil forces and persons, and it is burned in exorcism rites. A sprig of the plant protects its wearer against accidents and attacks by wild animals. It also guards against ghosts and sickness. Juniper is added to love mixtures, and the berries are carried to increase male potency. When carried or burned, juniper helps the psychic powers and heals hexes and curses and drives off snakes. Now, the last part, let me read that again. And drives off snakes. I'm just saying, last year of the snake. We got this fire horse energy. Driving off that snake. So my takeaway from all of that is really, there's so much about protection. It protects from so many things. And it makes me think of when you hang up like an amulet, a charm, a talisman, everybody knows the evil eye. It just makes me imagine like hanging a sprig of juniper, right? Just on the wall. Hang it on a wall somewhere where you see it all the time. On a wall near, even if it's like on a wall near your laptop, on a wall near where you watch TV at the end of the day, on a wall in the dining room, and just making it this reinforcement of protecting yourself, protecting your health, Just this one little sign, this one herb hanging in a place where you'd see it every day. Just this conscious or subconscious reminder to say, hey, remember, we're going to focus on our health, protecting it, not letting people take our wealth of self-worth from us, anti-theft, our love, exorcism, detoxing what we're, again, absorbed through our skin, eating, consuming in different ways, just to remind us about checking in with our overall health and how our body feels in response to just daily life, daily stress, daily movements. I shift now because I know that I sit a certain way in my body when I sit in certain chairs, right? And so I have to adjust, or I have to remember to do stretches. I have to remember these things, or it adds up. So I'm just saying, just the symbol as a reminder, like the idea of, in this case, like a little piece of juniper somewhere to remind you, as you're about to do something, go, oh, right, I want to try that instead. Or I didn't want to use that. I wanted to start using these things. Like this little nice, friendly, pretty reminder to just be this little nudge. Remember, check in about your health. Okay, I'm going to draw one more card from the Star Temple Oracle. Thank you for watching and being here with me during these ever-changing times. I know things are super tumultuous, and whether it's more external to you or whether it's way too close to home, or both, all the above, or you're just feeling the world. Thanks for being here. Thanks for checking in with yourself and taking a moment to just be a little more present, be a little more considering being more considerate of yourself, whether that means slowing down to take a moment to reassess, whether that means just sitting for a moment and watching a video. Yeah, this is really wild to not have color behind me in this space, but I am excited that I'm going to put up art and then interchange it, because why haven't I been doing that? All right. Jesus. Okay, so the word finale came through, which is a bit daunting. So this card, especially if you're somebody who's like, I can't wait for whatever to end, this is for sure your card. Or you're anxious about something, this is for sure your card. Or it's just the finale to the reading, or it's the finale to your evening, whatever it may be for you. That's calmer. Yeah, I heard finale and soon. All right, what do we got? Interesting. Taygeta, number 30, the Mystic. Look at her. I mean, it looks like she's punching through her will into the universe, doesn't it? Taygeta, number 30, the Mystic. The word is magic. Nice. Let's have a magical finale, guys. I weave my magic and surrender to the universe. Ah, finale. Now I'm getting it. Finale, aka otherwise known as surrender. So if any of you are like, I can't wait till whatever's over, you're anxious about a decision. Finale as in, I weave my magic and then I surrender to the universe. If you're anxious about something, you can't wait till something is over, you did your part. Surrender to the universe. There's so many moving parts, right? I mean, look, she's doing the whole damn thing. She's doing her damnedest. She's participating. She's making an impact. She's making choices. She's putting things out there. but she's surfing inside a vast universe. So we can only make our choices and put things out there. And yeah, the word finale, I would strongly ask you to consider understanding that the finale for you, an answer for you, a resolve to anticipation about something might be acceptance of, or at least the first stage of acceptance about, okay, I've done my part. I mean, you did what you needed to do, or you really gave it what felt like more than you even knew you had. It's finale time. Time to surrender to the universe. Time for the universe to go out and continue to align things. So you can wake up minutes from watching this, days from watching this, whatever it may be. And there you go. You wake up and you see, oh, well, I got my answer. However, it's brought to your attention. You know, you got your response, you saw what you needed to see, you understand now. And I know that it can, especially if you feel anxiety about something, and we have a super fast, hot moving energy right now, just unpredictable. It can also be super distracting. So be mindful of that. That's some of your wanting to get, to know something right now, where the anxiety around stuff, it could just be accumulated of so many things right now. There's so much going on that you could think that you're trying to hold something up, being like, I'm going to hold this until I see the answer, until I get my answer, and not realize there's so many distracting things going on that you're actually not holding one thing. You've been juggling, and you're juggling a bunch of stuff, metaphorically, right? Probably, or literally, and you're juggling all these things. And it might feel like it's just one thing, let's say, in your head, but it's actually, you're not just steadfast holding one thought and you're like, I will this to the universe, this is what I want. It's actually like doot 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 doot. You're just juggling all these things. So be mindful of that as well, in terms of having just like amplified anxiety, whether it comes through I'm just waiting, or if you're like the opposite but same side of that coin of kind of like that anxious feeling is like, I'm super intentional and I'm super, I'm focused, I'm laser focused, I have one thing and I'm going to concentrate until this thing is manifest. And if I'm talking to you, I'm talking to you. You're like, you weave your magic and surrender to the universe. Every single thing, whether it's a thought, whether it's an outcome you want, whatever it is. At some point, we can't just walk around with a metaphorical clenched fist all the time. We'll drive ourselves nuts. We'll feel miserable physically, mentally, emotionally. Our body will start responding to it. So again, if you're waiting for resolve, you're waiting for an answer, congratulations. And I'm sorry to tell you, congratulations. You've done it. You've done the damn thing. You might just need to take that final step of accepting that you've woven your magic and it's out there. Yes, you're a badass, whether it's done through softness or extreme acrobatics. But now it's time to welcome your finale. Thank God. Rest it for a minute and let the universe, let everyone, everything, people, places, timing line up for you so you can get resolve, so you can get your answer. You've woven your magic. Now surrender to the universe. It's March now. Did you see I had to think about that? Whatever month it is for you, just a reminder to kind of be mindful and kindful to yourself for the next 30 days. Why not? You can say no, but why not? And revisit things and feel if they're right for you. Or if you're just not in that place or not that person anymore, drop the baggage, drop it off you. You know, this is year of the fire horse. Some stuff's got to be left in the dust, burned in the fire. It's just going to happen. And wouldn't it be cool if you took a moment now and then to figure out what's worth dropping and what's worth carrying along for the ride? And as always, know that you are always loved. You are innately worthy. You always have worth. It doesn't matter what you're doing. It doesn't matter who you are, where you are. You're always worthy and you're deeply loved. And the best of you on this wild, wild ride. Remember, the lows are quick resolved. The highs, quick resolved. We're just going to be running the paces together this year. Take moments when you can to check in and know how fast things are moving. And I wish you the best at holding things lightly. Oh, and remembering at some point, oh, where'd that card go? Remembering at some point, you do have to let go. All right. Until next time.